being here and thank you, Teresa. Thank you for their support and help for over the last school year. This is our last full membership meeting of the school year. And this is my last membership meeting as PTA president. So I want to say thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to thank my executive board. We have two members that are not able to be here tonight, but I wanted to thank in person for Tyler and Colby for all their efforts and help and encouragement this last, year or 2 years for Colby's case. So thank you both so much. And thank you to Katie and also to Acacia, who can't be on the call tonight. But thank you all. It's been a very wonderful privilege to be able to do this and to help our school that we love so dearly, and be here and have events for our children and help our teachers out. So thank you all. I wanted to go ahead and pass the call over to Ms. Bailey to give us the principal update.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Ms. Bailey.
Thank you. We have a few things coming up. As you know, the school year was extended. So we have our last day of school is June 17th, Monday and Tuesday. Please make sure that your children are in attendance because attendance is still being calculated. It does count. It does impact our Maryland report card. Especially the students who are getting promoted to 6th grade, because the promotion is so early. Sometimes people want to start their vacation early, but attendance does count. We have field day coming up June 4th, I believe. And Mr. Hendershot is asking for parent volunteers. In the most recent Cougar Chronicle, there is a document in there that will provide opportunities for parents to volunteer. So I hope to see you all there. Another big thing that is going to be coming out in the Cougar Chronicle as well is we are currently looking at our mission and vision, and we would like to take some time to get community input as well as student input. So students, when they take it 4 times a year. Yes, they take it 4 times a year. When they take their climate survey, we're adding a question on our survey that asks the students about their ideal learning environment slash school. And we are hoping to, see what students are thinking. And then that same question is going to be posed to parents and teachers as well. So we hope that you all participate because we need to hear from all of our stakeholders to see if our current mission and vision is something that stands or if there's something that we need to revise. Oh, May 29th, please, if you are not busy, please make sure you come out to Rockville High School. We have our what do you call it? Our band concert and our chorus concert. So we would like to, pack the house and have the students be supported by all of the members in our community. That's it for right now.
Bailey, I have a question for you. I
Mhm.
have on my calendar that I'm to be attendance for the kindergarten. What is it being called?
Oh, yes, the kindergarten orientation.
Yes.
Some of you may have participated in, and I can't even, it depends on how, if you have older children, participated in our previous kindergarten orientation. And MCPS has changed the way that we do orientation. A few years ago, prior to COVID, we used to have orientation and the kindergartners wouldn't have school for 2 days. I'm assuming feedback from the community prompted MCPS to change that process. And so schools were finding ways to orient kindergarten parents. It is not the same because at that time we would register parents. Teachers would spend a lot of time, collecting data for kindergarten students. And so we are just doing something a little on a smaller scale as a school where we would share information about Maryvale. And that's going to be conducted by myself and Madam Riley. And students would be with their kindergarten teachers. So if you know any kindergarten families that are coming into Maryvale, please let them know about our orientation and pass along the um, the Google form so that they can register so we have an idea of how many families we should be expecting. We want parents to bring their kindergarten age students, but don't bring any other students outside of the kindergartners because we are not having childcare. This is specifically for kindergarten age students and their parents.
Megan
And
has a
that
question.
is going to take place on June 3rd.
Right.
And it's going to start on time, and it's an hour long.
So that is separate from the play date, right?
Yes.
Okay,
The play date will occur after the K orientation.
okay, so that wasn't clear. Is there a language, so
Well, the play date was not orchestrated by the school. So I'm not sure.
because PTA,
Who's organizing the play? Do you know who's organizing the play date?
No. No. Um, we
So
are
I asked
allowing
because-
families to meet, and meet is like a meet and greet. And at the end of the orientation, we're going to end up outside, really more for the students to interact in an unstructured environment, but we're not really hosting a play date.
okay, so I asked because we have a very active neighborhood Facebook group for East Rockville, which is Maryvale. And I posted the play dates. And there's a lot of interest, so I presumably these are, kids in the neighborhood will be here next year. And I got some questions about it that I couldn't really answer, but the play date only talked about a play date. There was nothing about the orientation beforehand. I didn't realize these were together. So where can I find information about because that's not gone, I don't think people are aware of
The
that.
school, you have to share that with me.
I'm sorry, what?
You have to share that with me because the school, we didn't organize a play date. We didn't even mention play date.
It was in your newsletter.
That was the meet and greet. Is that
Yeah, it was in the Cougar Chronicle.
Yeah, it's just a meet and greet.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, that I shared, but there was nothing about the fact that there was orientation, so I think these are interested incoming kindergarten parents. And I wanted to get some information to share about the fact that that's also the
The
orientation.
flyer that the meet and greet is like an orientation. We're talking solely to parents. We're not doing anything outside of that.
I'm sorry, I'm very confused, so the meet and greet is orientation?
We don't have an official, the county took away the orientation as you would know it from your older child. We're not doing that. We're doing a meet and greet. The meet and greet is going to be an opportunity for parents to get information about the
That
school.
was not clear. Okay. That was
Well,
not, okay, that's right. I shared this flyer. So this is
Yeah.
what I shared.
Okay,
Yes.
so that makes sense.
I just wasn't, I guess I was confused.
People with older kids would be confused because they
Yeah.
have different paperwork. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So this is what I shared. I
Yeah,
was unaware of the fact that that was kind of orientation.
yeah.
Okay.
Janet, what were you saying?
Well, outside of that, so I learned about it from the Cougar Chronicle, but I have an incoming kindergartner. I didn't hear about it elsewhere outside of which I wouldn't have gotten unless I had older.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
like if you were like in.
Yeah, so if I didn't have an older child, I wouldn't know about it right now. And I haven't.
It's only there's really no way for us to get it to, besides people who have registered for the school. So that was so really it should be word of mouth. Um, what is put into the newsletter, and so we were hoping that people shared it. There really is no other way for us to
Wait, are you sharing it with the students who are officially registered for Maryvale?
Madam Riley is because we had to wait and it just came out Friday.
Okay,
For our immersion families who just came out, and it just so happened that theirs came in a list, so it's easy for us to share with them. It's not the same way, it doesn't work the same way for our regular neighborhood families. A list of the emails, but the Miss, what's her name, Miss Ripley is sharing it with families who are coming in to register.
that's helpful to me.
Yeah.
So the people are already registered with the school are getting it through Miss Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was, okay,
Okay.
that was the piece I was under.
Okay,
Okay,
so that makes sense. Okay, that's helpful. Thank you. That's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else we can do as a PTA to help push that forward, Ms. Bailey?
You can share it on, the listserv with families, and we would like, we asked volunteers because it's solely on can't force anybody outside of, not forcing, but anybody outside of the kindergarten team, and we wanted to do snacks. So if the PTA wanted to do like a little snack bag for them when they exit, that would be fine. We can't, because it's only an hour, we don't have a long period to kind of do like an organized snack session for them.
We could talk offline about how many people are registered so I can prepare for that accordingly. And I can have flyers. And we were also talking about, prior to the meeting beginning, we were talking about collecting contact information for kindergarten play dates throughout the summer, if that wanted to occur, with some kindergarten families wanted to arrange that. So if that's all right with you.
Yes, that's fine.
So if I can talk to you tomorrow or the next day about how many families are already registered so I can plan accordingly.
Okay. And the other big thing that families need to be aware of, that the county has decided to do a transition day. So that how that looks, some schools they allow schools to make their decision, which, I would have preferred if the county gave a standard guideline for what would happen on transition day, or who can come on transition day. So one of the big discussions we are having right now, we have a skeleton of the day. It's actually your kindergarten is going to actually come home thinking school is like that every day, because it's really a big day of fun for kindergartners. They're going to go to all of their specials in one day. They're going to do some read alouds. They're going to do activities where they're able to collaborate, and they're going to this is so it's going to be a full day for the kindergarten team. Now the other teachers are not going to be with children, so because we are an elementary school, the only ones who participate in our transition day will be the kindergarten students. So the kindergartners will be shown around the building without any other students in the building. And then the following day, which is that Tuesday, would be the official first day of school for students in grades 1 through 5. Questions? In middle school, they're doing the same thing for your sixth graders. Some schools are doing just new student those transition grades and new students. So the county has pretty much said, hey, you can create your transition day as you see fit, which would cause some confusion for most. We will be having Rockville daycare that day, but Rockville daycare is only there for kindergarten students. So if your child is in grades 1 through 5, they will not come to school that day at all. And that it also includes Rockville daycare.
And it would have to be kids registered, because daycare's already full next year.
Yeah.
Someone on the wait list
Okay.
already. So I mean, I'm worried. I don't know how many kindergarten families are already on that wait list.
Yeah,
So-
if they know
Yeah,
about.
this is something that really I don't control it from a previous school. And this was probably about 8-9 years ago. I participated in it was a bidding process for before and after care programs. And that allowed us to interview. We have a community member, we have somebody from Department of Health and Human Services, a couple of other people in the county, and they would submit proposals to the school. I don't know where we are in the process for of our years with Rockville Daycare, or even if they still do it that way. It does concern me because Rockville Daycare, and I don't know if you noticed, they're only renting half of the APR. And in previous schools, we've had Barty and KAH, and they have the entire all-purpose room, and then they also have the gym as well. And so I don't really understand how you can rent just half, so which limits the amount of children they can take in the program.
Yeah, I mean, I think related to that, couple things is around the topic. One is in years past, there had been conversations about Rockville Daycare. I don't understand, but changing their licensing so that they could have twice as many students. They would have twice as much staff and presumably twice as much space. But we all know that the world has changed and a whole lot of us are in the office 5 days a week who were not in the office before. And then, so that's one thought. Another thought, and I hate to bring up the bus conversation, but my son goes to Park Street, which is a great provider of before and after care. But after I think our January meeting, we had the conversation about the rabbit bus. The rabbit bus being way too crowded. So the solution was the double back with Lincoln Park. Well, I gotta say the kids and the parents hate that too, because like Kevin has to sit alone in Mr. Mendy's room for quite a while, waiting for that bus to come back. And he tells me at least that only 5 or 6 kids go to Lincoln Park, and then everybody else has to sit and wait. So I will say I actually contacted the bus depot a couple weeks ago and was inquiring about next year, because Park Street used to in the before times have its own dedicated bus, and Park Street pays for a bus. And so I know this is above you per se, it's bus stuff and drivers and all that, but I guess I'm just saying I would love to see if we have any levers to try and get another bus, because if we could have a separate neighborhood bus and Park Street and Lincoln Park bus, those are 2 aftercare providers that are good quality. And I know of several kids who are not going to Park Street next year because of the bus situation, not because Park Street's that great. And Kevin's on the bubble because his friends might not go. And it's this whole drama thing just because of the bus. But if Park Street had a direct bus, or at least Lincoln Park and Park Street. So I'm just bringing that up as an issue.
No, I absolutely agree with you, because once they did it, I was like, okay, that relieves it. And then when we saw the number of kids, it was it's 6 kids.
It's 6 kids.
Yeah,
And everybody else has to, it's then 45 who have to sit in their classrooms alone.
And my concern about that was also that Park Street pays MCPS for bus service. So I would appreciate, I can reach out to our transportation person to make the inquiry.
That would be great. So
And-
I forward you my email. He got back to me and positively.
Do you guys know Kat?
Who was it?
I can tell you.
Was it Michael?
Hang on. What's the bus number?
5212.
Thank you. Do you know?
Good job, Rachel.
Yes, so I sent the email to Julio. So I think Natalie, you're on. You started this back in January, and I say that in a positive way, by emailing Tracy Marquez. Tracy emailed you back, Natalie, and said, we'll look into it, but I, Tracy, am going into another role. Julio is your person going forward. So I emailed Julio and then CC'd Tracy, and I can forward this email to people who are interested. Julio did get back to me and said, we'll look into it and we'll monitor. And my inquiry, to be clear, was not for this year. I sort of feel like this year is just like water under the bridge. My inquiry was about next year. I was like, can we please fix this next year? Because I think Park Street's gonna have more kids, going back to RDCA doesn't have enough spots. More
Right.
kids are gonna go to Park Street and Lincoln Park.
I have somebody for you to copy.
Okay.
We'll get it done.
Yes.
So
send that
I'm
person.
gonna send it to you, Miss Bailey, and to you.
Okay.
Amanda.
Yes,
Well,
and just to share with you, Julio is the local supervisor. So I'm gonna reach out I've at one time it was Michael, and I'm hoping it's still Michael K. Lewis, who was actually the director of transportation, because and I need Park Street to kind of speak up too, because if I'm paying
Talk
for
to-
transportation, only, if they're paying for that bus, then only the Park Street kids should be riding that bus. And they shouldn't have to wait for it to double back. So if you can send that to me, and then I will reach out to before they start having the discussion about the routes over the summer, to see if we can add an additional route to our 25
I
buses.
also feel like we have 2 neighborhood buses, one of which has 2 daycare centers on it.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, how many French buses do we have? Like the fact that they cram all of our neighborhood kids into 2 buses, that right there just kind of angers me, along with the 2 childcare centers. Like
Yeah.
just from an equity perspective, like give us 3 buses.
Yeah.
All right, I just forwarded you, Miss Bailey and Natalie
Okay.
and Rachel, the exchange I had with Julio.
Okay.
And I got yours, so thank you. Real time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Bailey, I have a question for you. Do you know when you're gonna plan who's having the first lunch at 11:15 next year?
I already know.
You already know, because I'm just trying to figure out, because I know there was a lot of, I know those that have second graders, there was a lot of side conversation about snacks for the second graders to have the 11:15 lunch, and I'm wondering if it would be beneficial for the PTA to help sponsor snacks for the French and neighborhood side for that. So I just, what grade is?
I
'Cause-
think I want to empower you to have conversations with teachers about it. And I will definitely bring it up, because I've done it before.
Mhm.
We've done it before when somebody is going to lunch. Like, I actually was in a school where we started lunch at 10:45, because our lunchroom did not when I was at Burtonsville, our lunchroom did not fit some grade levels. We had 1 grade level per lunch period, and lunch has to be over by a certain time because of the cafeteria workers. And so, the students did have snack, and teachers can build in snack in the afternoon. It's not a disruption. The kids eat snack while they're working, and they go about their business. It's not uncommon. It happens before. And so this is something that I can share with the grade level that is going to have the first lunch, to say, parents have inquired about students eating snack. I just want parents to know that, teachers generally get into it. You don't want anybody not to have snack. So they, hopefully every parent will send a snack with their child.
Okay. Oh, Natalie, sorry, thank you for trying to say something.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, I find it very interesting that the Park Street parents are complaining about the bus, when like that is our neighborhood bus and it stops right outside my front door. And like we've all just adapted, and we're the ones who have to like wait for the kid to get off the bus. It's not like just going to Park Street. But I mean, I understand the concerns about sitting in the classroom, but like, I mean, it's better than the kids standing in the aisles of the bus. And I realize like this is for next year, but I just find it very interesting that the parents who are not standing out there waiting for the bus and like their kids are just going to Park Street are complaining about this when we've adapted, but.
Yeah.
Thank you, Natalie, for that. Ms. Bailey, anything else you would like to add to the conversation?
No, I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bailey, appreciate it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna go over, our board members are gonna speak, so I'm gonna have Amanda is gonna represent for our program and events.
Yes. So we talked, basically, we had a great.
Sorry.
Sure, just, my update is, it was a great year of programming, with Spring Fling, that was our last event. And say thank you again to all the individual people who took leadership roles for all the various, events. And we talked a little bit during the board meeting about getting together this summer to try and do our best to calendar out events. So again, I'm talking Spring Fling and International Night and Science Fair and all of those, into next year. I'm going to be stepping away from the role and giving it to Megan. I'm still going to do Spirit Wear next year, and you guys can't totally get rid of me, but just noting that thank you. I think it was a really good year. So,
Great.
And I was looking at the spreadsheet for like people or the sign up genius for people signing up next year, and it looks like a pretty robust group already.
Yeah, it's right here. I think it'll be good. And yeah, send it over to the neighborhood kindergarten team, and they send it out to the families too. So we make sure we cover all those bases as well. We're going to turn over to Colby to give our treasure update.
Okay, so in terms of revenue, you're doing very well. As I just mentioned, in terms of we have like 76% of our budgeted revenue we've already collected. Cost of goods sold, we're at about 64%. So total gross profits for the year, we're at almost 82%. So we're doing very well. Where we always lack is the expenditures. We cannot give away our money. We try, but we just can't seem to give it away. So we're at about right now 51% of our budgeted total of expenditures. So we still have quite a bit of money. Now, a lot of the recent ones was, library, the media center, library resources, bought a lot more books. There was some teacher support grants that we paid for a little bit lesser extent. Again, this is not including what we just did this month, but this is for April. So a little bit lesser expenses were some of the staff appreciation. We had an international night, the science fair, things of that nature, square fees, some student activities. Of course, we will report on next time for how we did it at the Spring Fling. We're working calculating now, but the PTA is now working on a summer budget. So we're going to get that summer budget out so we can figure out what it is that we're going to be doing. We're going to be meeting throughout the summer months. I will be stepping away at the end of the term. So I guess after we do the audits, so I will work through the summer and then come back towards the beginning of the school year after we do our audits to hand over things and make sure everybody has got what they needed. But as my children are no longer going to be here. That was a great time. So we still have some outstanding expenditures that we are waiting on. So there's definitely going to be several thousand more dollars coming our way to spend on in terms of French testing. We have part of those receipts. We need some additional receipts, and then receipts for, I believe, the teacher appreciation, food, and things of that nature. So some other receipts are coming in. If there's other things that people need, or people need to budget for the summer, just to let us know. To write to Acacia and I, make sure we get it in the budget. Of things that we want to do, things that we may want to purchase, so we're ready for the new school year.
And on that note, Acacia sent over to me the payment authorization form for teachers and staff. And so I'm going to put it in boxes, hopefully tomorrow, or if not Friday. And then I think I know that one of our paras sent over to all the paras, and the paras can also request to submit funds for their $95. So we can encourage everyone, and it's not just teachers that can get their $95. And so Acacia wanted me to put these in boxes for the advanced grant authorization, so we can vote as a PTA whether we approve them, and then we can go forth and we can budget plan for the summer budget.
And at the beginning of the school year, we did put those in every teacher's boxes. We did not discriminate as to whether they were paraeducators or full or whatever. We just, anybody who wanted to be a member and to take those grants, we highly encourage them We did end up with a little over $23,000 on hand at the end of April, just a couple of checks outstanding. We are sending in another check for $2 for our 2 new members. So thank you, members. So we'll be sending that in as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Colby. Colby, thank you again for your service on PTA for the last years. Okay, and now we're going to go over to Natalie for membership.
All right, we are up to 165 members, which is more than we've had in the past. We've got what did I say? 122 parents and 43 staff, and we already have 2 staff members for next year because going back to our earlier meeting, I looked it up and both Madam Caduno and Madam Barema are already members, and so just do that for their next year membership.
And I have another membership too that I've been holding on to for like 9 months.
One more, plus one. Thank you, Natalie. Appreciate it. Now going to tune it. I don't know because I saw that both Mindy and Tanya are on the line, so I don't know who's going to give you a communications update.
I can go.
Thank you,
Hi, it's Tanya.
Thank you, Tanya.
So not much has changed. You know, I think a lot of people are just feeling the school year. The last newsletter didn't get as many views as the previous one. So, I mean, there were still over 100 views, just it wasn't as strong. And yeah, I think that's like that's about it because, you know, all the big events are over and people are just kind of like ready to go into summer.
I think so makes sense. And in your perspective, Tanya, do you think we should continue on with how we were doing it for the new term? Because I think then we'd have to carry over that payment for using some more, right?
Yes, more definitely saved time and it was more user friendly. So it's set to renew in January.
Okay, great. And so we can
translating still does take time, you know, and it's maybe not as accurate as we would like, but that's the only thing I have to say about the translating.
Okay.
Mindy, do you want to add anything?
Big silence is no.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Okay.
thank you so much, Tanya and to Mindy. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
all of your efforts and kind of figuring that out of how to go ahead and use some more and make it a little bit more user friendly for
Yeah.
your end and I think for viewership end as well.
Yeah, and I think the viewers are also used to it because Miss Bailey uses it as well. So
it's good to have it streamlined.
yeah.
Miss Bailey, you're going to continue to use some more next year as well.
So, I love S'more and I have to play with the newest version of communication that we are being told we have to use. I love Remind because it's almost like a text feature, but we have a new program.
Are you serious?
Another app.
I cannot believe.
I mean, I do.
Yeah. It's like, why do you keep asking me questions? We have this new program and it has like a newsletter like feature. I'm not sure I'm going to use it because it almost reminds me of how you would have to do the newsletter in Blackboard, and I don't know if I want to do that. So I am going to play with it, but you will receive messages. Highly unlikely you will be receiving messages from Remind, and it will go to the new program, and I'm so excited about it I can't even think of the name of it.
Well, thank you for your opinion. We much appreciate it.
But more than likely I will probably still use it because it's just so easy to use and I can just take things out, add things in. So more than likely I will.
Thanks for letting us know. We appreciate it. I know Teresa is recording, but I'm not sure if she's able to chat, but we're going to talk to Teresa's in charge of our website update. So please, do you have any updates for our website?
My update is that Tyler volunteered to do the website next year. So claps for Tyler, since my kids are aging out of Maryvale. So I appreciate that. And we'll do a little turnover. It's really not very hard, but it's an important role. So I'm glad someone's doing it. Thanks.
And thank you for all your work, Teresa. We really appreciate it, and all your time. We helped out in Maryvale very much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And now I'm going to turn it back over to Tyler, because Tyler is going to give our slate for the 25-26 school year board presentation.
Yes, hello, everybody. If you don't know me yet, I'm Tyler. I'm the vice president of the PTA. And I have been tasked with nominating so that we can do a formal vote as a PTA, the executive board for next year, this being the last meeting of this year. The entire PTA needs to vote and confirm. And this actually matters, I learned this week, because we have to submit these numbers to the bank to change over who can access the bank account. So it does have legitimate ramifications beyond just who's sitting here in this room right now, in case anyone was curious, because I was like, okay.
Yes, I'm gonna.
Yes,
and I'm gonna make a
exactly.
letter.
So part of the formalities, but I think I have to do like a formal, okay, I'm nominating this person. You have to do all in favor, say aye, that kind of, hopefully you're generally familiar with that. So, for secretary, we have our current secretary, Katie O'Brien. Katie O'Brien is a doctorate in epidemiology from UNC. She works for the National Institutes of Health. She's lived in Rockville for 2.5 years and currently has 2 kids at Maryvale, a second grader in the French program and a kindergartner in the English program. Does anyone else in person or on the Zoom want to nominate themselves or somebody else? I think I also have to formally let anyone else have the opportunity, should they so desire. Okay, hearing nothing and seeing nothing, I am nominating Katie to be secretary. I think I need a second for this to happen. Amanda is seconding that nomination. So then I have to put a vote out. So if you could, if you're in the Zoom, raise your hand, put the hand icon as a form of saying yes. And then if you're in the room here, just put your hand up as a form of saying yes to Katie as secretary. It looks like we've got everybody in the room, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 and 11 on the Zoom, 12, 13. Okay. Unanimous. I don't know. Do we need the specific number?
No.
Okay. So I'm also the note taker today, so just give me a minute to. Oh yeah. Yes. That would be super helpful. Am I next on my list is me? Am I allowed to do this part formally? Or does
So why don't you say your spiel and I will go ahead and present. I will call for a vote for yourself.
So I am the candidate. I am a candidate for vice president of the PTA. Again, I'm Tyler. I've been living in Rockville for 8 years. I bought the house in 2018. My daughter's Priscilla. If you don't know her, she's in 4th grade going into 5th. And we've been at Maryvale since pre-K. So we've been in the old building, the in-between, the online, everything. Love Maryvale, happy to be excited and continue going on if you all will have me as part of the team.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to, is there anyone on in person or on Zoom that would like to present themselves as a vice president candidate for the Maryvale PTA? Okay, so then we want to make a motion to, so moved. Okay, wonderful. And then we have a second.
Second.
Wonderful. And then all in favor, and like Tyler said previously for secretary, if you could please raise your hand online and in person. Approval of Tyler as vice president of the Maryvale PTA.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
There you go.
Yay. Okay, treasurer, I have not heard this name out. Jeanette? Jeanette, okay, Jeanette, okay. So this is Jeanette here. I've got it right now. I'll send it to you. Jeanette has a master's in public administration from American University. She currently works at Georgetown University, where she oversees business operations for the McDonough School of Business and Business Career Center. She's lived in Gaithersburg for the past 5 years, and you have a son in 2nd grade in the English program, a daughter in 1st grade in French, and you have an incoming kindergartner who will also be in English program. So welcome, Janet, is there anybody else either on Zoom or in person who would like to be nominated for treasurer? I'm assuming that smiley face is, yeah, they're just gonna take it down from the previous thing. Okay, so hearing nothing and seeing nothing, I am going to nominate Jeanette, sorry, for treasurer. And I believe we need a second.
Second that.
Colby, our current treasurer, is seconding that. So again, please put your hand up in the Zoom or in person, if you would like Jeanette to be treasurer next year. Okay,
Thank you.
thanks so much. Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at all those hands. That's the most hands we've had so far. Everyone's excited. Do we have something in the chat? I just don't want to miss. I thought I saw a chat come up.
Oh, we do. Thank you for noticing him.
It was just hands.
Okay,
More
thank you.
hands.
Thank you,
More
Teresa.
hands.
Thank you,
Oh,
Teresa.
boy.
Wonderful.
Oh, everyone's excited for a treasurer. Okay, Rachel, yes, I don't have a summary for you, so. Rachel is a candidate for president. She is going to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Rachel. Guessing fashion as everyone else. I'm a PhD candidate in computer science. I've lived in Rockville for almost 26 years. I I have a current first grader and I have a daughter who went through Maryvale. She's currently at Wood in sixth grade. I've been a part of the PTA for a minute or two. I enjoy everyone's company here, the camaraderie. It's a great community, both the PTA and the school, and I would love to continue to volunteer in whatever capacity that I can.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel.
Rachel, you're forgetting something big.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
You work here. Yeah, and I'm a part-timer here in the CAP program.
Rachel. Would anyone else in the room or on the Zoom like to nominate themselves or somebody else for candidate as president of the PTA? Don't all jump at once. Okay. Seeing nothing in the chat, seeing no hands in Zoom, I will nominate Rachel as president of the PTA.
Second that.
We have a second from our current president, Megan. So please put your hands up in the Zoom and in the room if you would like to vote Rachel for the PTA. Awesome. Okay, well, I think that concludes the executive board. Welcome, everybody. I do just want to add, Megan mentioned it briefly for parents who are on the call and maybe not a part of the executive board. Many hands make light work. We have an amazing team who help out with their particular events. We can always use more people for special help, especially I'm hoping to get a talent show off the ground next year. That's going to be a lot. I'm going to need a lot of help for that to happen. But we have the movie nights. We need help for that. International night. We need help for that. We talked earlier about doing ice skating. You know, it sounds like we could maybe use some more parent involvement there to keep things calm. So there are opportunities throughout the year that are a little bit less of a commitment than the executive board. So just encourage yourselves and friends that you know. I see something in the chat too. Please keep in touch. Please continue to be involved. We need help, all the help we can get. It definitely makes it more fun and easier to put on the events.
Tyler.
Yeah.
For your kind wishes.
Tyler, I know two people you can reach out who are already in the school because they mentioned to me about doing like a talent variety show.
Okay.
And that's Tony Warren.
Tony Warren with a W?
Yes, Warren.
Okay.
Warren.
Okay.
And Angela Hebron.
Hebron, you said?
Yeah.
Hebron, yeah.
All right. Cool. It's in the notes, so hopefully that means I will get to them.
And then I will put him in touch with them. Yep.
Thank you, thank you, Principal Bailey. Appreciate
And
it.
thank you all for, thank you
Yeah.
all, and thank you to the oncoming executive board, and I will then go ahead and put that into the thing that Rachel Stafford sent me for the ends, now that we've been voted. There's like a directory of
Yes.
everyone's with executive board for all schools, and I was waiting for the vote, and I was going, great, that in. Great.
Just to be, Lizzie G, is your hand up to ask a question, or is that still from the vote? Earlier, I just want to make sure we don't miss a question.
Somebody's volunteering to take movie night.
Maybe we have a good,
Lizzie,
we have a
Lizzie,
good movie night team. We currently do
Anya
have,
saying she's chasing after her kids.
we currently do have, a lead for movie nights, but James, you definitely will be a part of that as well. So, we've got several folks who have asked to support movie nights, and that's awesome because that's a heavy staffed evening.
And Mindy, thank you for, and Mindy put it in the chat too, the sign up genius, so in case there's
Yes.
something that you want to help out with, and if it's all full, there was definitely more helpers needed than.
Yeah, at the bottom of the sign up genius, there is a section for just like open volunteering, and so the board will use that to reach out to folks. Who don't want to pick a particular role, but just want to be helpful. It's good to have that as well. So, okay, I think we covered everything, Megan.
Yes, we did,
Okay.
thank you, and we're just gonna go and turn things over to Rachel Stafford. She is our co-fundraising chair.
Sure. Hi, everybody. So Joanne, who's not here tonight, and I shared the fundraising role this year, which I think worked really well. And our most recent success is the Spring Fling, where we had a silent auction of more than $10,000 worth of items, and we raised, I believe, more than last year. We're still waiting for the final total, but before the fees, it was about $3,700. So I want to thank everybody who participated in that. We've had some really great local businesses that I think we can continue to solicit year after year. Next year will be my last year at Maryvale because I'll have a fifth grader. So I'm going to make it a priority to sort of download how we do things so that the next volunteer who wants to take on a silent auction will know what to do and Joanne. Do we know who set it for book fair? I know that was a conversation with Yeah, so 2 years ago, I was the chair of the book fair, and last year it was Joanne. Neither of us are available, so that would be something I could be available to help. I just can't be the lead. So that would be a volunteer role that we would look for. You'd have plenty of support. And I think it'd be nice to have both you and Joanne helping to support that, because it was, you know, someone that would maybe look forward to carrying over for at least a year or two, because that institutional is helpful, especially with be moving on. Absolutely.
So James, if you're looking for something to take the lead on, it sounds like we just found something for you.
You're
If
great
you're open to it.
chair of book fair.
And I'm happy to chat with anybody who has questions.
And shocker of shocker, Barnsley is doing book fair round 2 at the last week of May, and I'm like, how are we getting volunteers for that?
Oh, yeah.
Which-
Book fair? Just fundraising.
Maybe we didn't do a specific book fair one.
Yeah, somebody signed up for restaurant nights, but, oh, and Tanya's on here. Tanya, she reached out to me saying she was interested in finding ways to help.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's not a dedicated book fair, but, and I'm not sure. I mean, you know, we gotta find someone who, and also flexibility to be there a lot that week.
That's the thing that I think is hard for many people is the flexibility.
We could also, one thing we could potentially do is carry it over to the weekend, because that may make things a little bit easier from in terms of volunteers rather than focus it during the week. And I know that was 3 years ago, right? Amanda, that it was, we
had the
the
science fair, yeah.
We had it carried over the weekend, so we could bring that back with a lot of people back at the office. It might be hard to staff it as much as we have in the last 2 years, so we can think about that, and maybe we should kind of after, if someone is interested, please send it to me. If Mindy or Tanya, if you could put my president email in the chat, if you're interested in being the chair of the book fair, and then we can get in touch with you so you can plan, because I think we need to figure out the dates with Scholastic sooner rather than later. Worst case scenario, I can kind of get that set up. In the meantime, I can talk to Rachel and Joanne about that and have a date in mind if we don't have a person in place yet. And I'll put a note to myself to take care of that.
Yeah,
that's it. Well, yeah, thank you both for all your efforts. And I know there was some last minute bidding going on at Spring Fling, so. Oh, geez, so. And
you know, and one thing in terms of feedback. If there's a category of item that you didn't see enough of, or you think would be good, or a business of that should be represented, like, we're always looking for suggestions. I know Miss Bailey, said, where's all the spa stuff and the massages? And I'm like, next year we're doing that. The teachers are gonna want to bid on that, so.
And I know that Ma'am Riley was saying that her event with the two students on Saturday was, she said it was so fun. And then
it was, it sounded like the best event, but honestly, to like, I
The,
can't believe she like wanted to take the time and weekend.
the teacher experiences went for much more money this year.
Yes.
Like, people were bidding and fighting to do slime with Miss Dobson and
Yeah,
stuff, so it's really great.
I know who I did that.
So, yeah.
We
And
have,
I know Rachel Bonus and I, oh, is there somebody in the chat?
no, I was just gonna say they donated, you gave the leftover items to the school, and so we raffled them off today
Oh, wonderful.
to staff. And someone asked me, because a lot of them were like swimming, for little people, and somebody said, where's the wine? And I was like, I don't know if they can do that.
It got bid on,
Colby
yeah.
got the wine.
Oh, okay.
Miss Bailey, I can work, if you email the fundraising email, I can make sure everybody gets their item that they want.
Okay. I have like a few more people who won and they didn't pick out. So I think I have 3 more, and then I will email you back the
Perfect.
names of all the individuals who won.
Perfect.
Thank you, Mindy, for, okay, there's something else with. For the Painting Rocks. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
the-
you, Chow, for saying that. So Chow was saying that she was excited to win one of the teacher experiences. Thank you so much. Yes, I think those are fun ones for the kids and they really appreciate them. On the note, we're talking about Madam Riley, just to the note that she's not gonna be returning, she's retiring. And so Rachel Bonus and I are trying to figure out doing something from the PTA. I know the staff is doing a video. I'm trying to get a try this weekend when I have some time, maybe send something out and send it to past presidents that they can send out to their networks. I just didn't have time over the weekend, but I'm gonna try to get that because I would like to do something. She told me explicitly everything we do for her, she wants brought back to the school, but I think we need to honor and appreciate all the time and energy and effort that she's put into our children and to our school. And we're all better for it.
Do we ever do like a clap out or something? They did that at my kid's other school for a school counselor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done it here too.
Oh, you think of doing something like that, Miss Bailey?
I guess we can, for people who are retiring. Yeah, I guess we can.
Not everybody likes that,
I've
so.
never seen it, but we can definitely do that. She probably will fuss at it because she tries, she doesn't want people to make a big deal, but we'll do it.
We have to do something, yeah. To that note of the last day of school, Tyler and I are planning to have on the last day of school, so the June 17th, we're gonna have our bubbles and dance out, and in the next newsletter, I'm gonna ask for some more volunteers since our Amanda will not be able to be in attendance for that, and so
What is it called?
it's a dance out,
Dance into summer.
dance in the summer. Thank you.
So what we do is we use the sound system from the library and set it up at the main entrance. We have 2 bubble machines. One we set up at the main entrance, one we set up at the bus entrance. At the bus entrance, I just brought my own personal, Bluetooth speakers because we want the bus kids to do it too. And we just play really loud dance music, of course, G-rated. There's an Amazon Kids party mix that we use, and the kids all dance out into summer to bubbles.
The bubbles, yeah.
It's fun.
Exciting.
Oh, and there's a question about the promotion in the chat, Miss Bailey. Can you confirm the 5th graders still come to school after promotion? We heard that GMS, that technically the 8th graders do not, and they're allowing them to volunteer instead.
I'm telling you, everybody got an email from their director to tell them that attendance is still taken. Attendance still counts. So if your children do not come to school, they are absent. No one should ever tell them that they cannot come to school or that they should not come to come to school. So everybody needs to come to school, even up until the last day of school. And if you choose not to, then they are marked absent. It's okay. I know people do it. I remember when I was in the classroom, you know, people would say, "Don't come," and the kids come anyway.
And now, thank you, Ms.
And
Bailey.
and speaking
Yeah.
of Madam Riley, because you know, no one's asked, we haven't yet posted her position yet, because we're waiting for an official documentation, but we will be looking for a new coordinator, and those are going to be very, very, very big shoes to fill.
Yes, 1000%.
Yeah.
But then when you know that person, if you could let the executive team know so we can help welcome that person and, you know,
Clap in.
yes, clap into the system as we clap out Ms. Madam Riley.
Yeah.
And thank you, Ms. Bailey. And now it's an open session. So is there anything they would like to bring up or anything they would like to ask or anything of that nature? Okay, well, thank you all. As my last membership meeting, again, I wanted to say thank everyone for their help and their encouragement and their support over the last 2 years. It's been a wonderful experience and I'm very grateful for you all. And thank you all. And I hope you all have a wonderful summer. And I will see some of you for our board call in June. So thank you all. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.